Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. Bello El-Rufai, son of former governor of Kaduna State, Seun Okunbaloye, said that former Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 presidential election is not in any way better than President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In a recent interview with Seun Okunbaloye, who works for Channels Television, Bello El-Rufai pointed out that Lagos is better than Anambra State, which was governed by Peter Obi. And he went on to say that even his father and Fashola, Babatunde Fashola, former governor of Lagos State, are better than Peter Obi. Now, one of the things that really caught my attention was that Lagos is far better than Anambra State that Peter Obi governed. And that means there is a need for education. One of the problems that we have in this country is ignorance. So that is why it is important that we address this issue. Because comparing Lagos and Anambra State, Lagos State and Anambra State, is what is called false equivalence in philosophy. Because Lagos became the capital of Nigeria in 1914 and remained the capital of Nigeria for several decades, even after the Federal Capital Territory was moved to Abuja. Lagos remained the capital for a long time, until perhaps when Sani Abacha became head of state of Nigeria, and he said enough is enough for those who are reluctant to relocate from Lagos to Abuja. And Abacha, who doesn't suffer fools gladly, was able to raise the sledgehammer. And many of the civil servants who were reluctant to move to Abuja were forced to come down to Abuja. So how do you compare Lagos State, that was capital of Nigeria pre-independence and after and post-independence? You are comparing it with Anambra State, that was created in 1991 by General Babangida, with Awka as its capital. Awka started just as a small town and was chosen to be the capital of Anambra State at the time it was created. Now you are comparing, want to compare Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Peter Obi's performance, and all you can say, all you could see, was that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in charge of Lagos, and Lagos was better, more developed than Anambra State. If Lagos is not more developed than Anambra State, it means that is an insult on federal government of Nigeria, because federal government of Nigeria have been pouring in billions, if not trillions, of our oil money in Lagos for almost eternity. Everything you see in Lagos, we are largely the creation of the federal government of Nigeria. It's just like whatever you see in Abuja today. The development of Abuja today is a creation of oil money of the federal government of Nigeria. So tomorrow, Seun Okunbaloye will come and say that he's better than every other minister because he's pretended over Abuja. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot be compared with another person on the basis of the development of Lagos. Even the claim that Bola Ahmed Tinubu developed Lagos, which they use for campaign, is a lie. Bola Ahmed Tinubu only played a small part in terms of being a governor. He was believed to have generated more internally generated revenue than previously under the military. But that is understandable. The military were not interested in revenue generation. But he was the person that started the indebtedness of Lagos State. And many have challenged those who say that he built Lagos to mention one structure that was built under his administration. So you cannot compare Lagos, use Lagos to compare Anambra State. Lagos was built by the whole of the country, starting from the colonial masters. That is a fact. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu claimed that he was born in 1952, March 29, 1952. At least that's what he claimed. Before that 1952, Lagos was. In fact, between 1947 and 1951, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was elected into the Lagos Legislative Council. Where was Tinubu building Lagos? And how do you compare that with Anambra State that had not been created by that time? It is in that same Lagos that Nigeria's first billionaire, Sir Louis Philip Odumegwu, was the first president of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Just to show you that Lagos had been there. Money poured into Lagos because of its geography, one as the capital of Nigeria and the result of the seaport in Lagos. It wasn't Bola Ahmed Tinubu that made Lagos the capital of Nigeria. It wasn't Bola Ahmed Tinubu that established the seaport in Lagos. He only played a part from 1999. And eventually he captured Lagos and put it in his pocket. No democracy in Nigeria, in the world, has been captured the way Lagos was captured since 1999 and put in the pocket of one man. But that doesn't make it an achievement. It's only a sign that the Mobutu Sese Seko syndrome in Africa goes deep. That's all I can say about that. Then Bello El-Rufai went on to argue that Peter Obi is not even in the same category with his father and the likes of Babatunde Raji Fashola. But first of all, I want to address the issue of comparing Tinubu and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. And let us look at both of these two men and see how any reasonable person will assume that Peter Obi is not better or that Peter Obi is beneath Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, a simple exercise will show that we can identify the primary school, the secondary school, and the universities that Peter Obi attended with dates and his classmates. We cannot say the same about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We have not been able to see even his classmates in primary, secondary, and the university. It was only during the time that the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party went to Chicago State University to go and unearth his academic records at that university that some people, one man emerged on television. And since that time, he has disappeared. We don't see him no more. They say he was a political analyst. But that was the first time he appeared on Nigerian television to claim that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was his classmate. You can't compare that with Peter Obi. And you all know how Atiku Abubakar tried all he could to unravel his academic records, which unearthed a lot of things when Alhaji Atiku Abubakar went to Chicago State University to unearth Tinubu's academic record. And the verdict is still out there in public on whether Tinubu graduated or not from Chicago State University. Because Atiku Abubakar challenged the certificate that Tinubu presented to the Independent National Electoral Commission, claiming that it was forged. So, if you are an employer you have a private company, between somebody whose certificate is so inconsistent and the person who you are sure of his certificate, who will you employ to run your company? Yes, who will Bello El-Rufai employ to run his company? Between the person that was able to show his academic records, show his schoolmates, and somebody whose academic record is subject of dispute and very contentious, to the level that as I talk to you, I don't think that Atiku Abubakar has not been satisfied about the academic record of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But he get away with it because this is Nigeria. So when you are doing comparison, Bello El-Rufai should be able to understand. So is it the reason why Tinubu is better than Peter Obi? Because Peter Obi has academic record that could be verified, and Tinubu's own is questionable. Is that the reason why Tinubu is better than Peter Obi? Peter Obi has never forfeited $460,000 proceeds of narcotic to the United States government because he's too law-abiding. to be found in that situation, like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Does that make Bola Ahmed Tinubu better than Peter Obi? Because he was able to forfeit $460,000 proceeds of narcotic to the United States government. Is that what made him better than Peter Obi? Because Peter Obi don't have such record of breaking the law in the United States, that's what made him inferior to Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the estimation of Bello El-Rufai. Or what is El-Rufai son talking about? Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu liked to take care of himself, because if you look at the breakdown of the Lagos State pension law for governors, which was signed in 2007 by Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu liked to take care of himself. Because let us look at the budget, the pension law for governors that was signed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fact, he initiated it because it was an executive bill that he signed into law in 2007. Former governors of Lagos State are entitled to a house in their preferred locations in Lagos and Abuja, the nation's capital. Section 2 of that law stated or states that one residential house each for the governor and deputy governor at any location of their choice in Lagos State, and one residential house in the Federal Capital Territory for the governor on 2 consecutive terms. The law also provides for 6 new vehicles every 3 years, 100% of the basic salary of the incumbent governor, and free health care for the beneficiary and family members. Former governors are entitled to furniture allowance, which is a 300% of annual basic salary. They are entitled to house maintenance allowance, utility allowance, and car maintenance allowance. These are some of the laws that Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed to ensure that the former governors are taken care of in Lagos State. This also includes entertainment allowance and a personal assistant. And the former governor is also entitled to 8 policemen and 2 Department of Security Services, that DSS, for life. Lagos State was the first state to implement this law, operationalize it. And these are all to take care of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and former governors. But Peter Obi never made such law. He never submitted such a law to the Anambra State House of Assembly so that he can enjoy a life of luxury after he leaves office. Perhaps that is why Bello El-Rufai feel that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is better than Peter Obi. Peter Obi that rejected even land that was given to him, and he said no, he doesn't need it, that the person they should give it to was a retired civil servant. Say give it to her. Maybe that's why Bello El-Rufai feel that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who takes care of himself after being 8 years as governor, far better than the civil servants of Lagos State, who served in that state for 35 years. That is why, in the estimation of Bello El-Rufai, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is better than Peter Obi. Now it goes to show you the mindset of those who are products of the system that we are dealing with in Nigeria today. That's the kind of person that Bello El-Rufai preferred. The person who made sure that he took care of himself far better than the other persons in Lagos State, including civil servants who served for 35 years. Their pension package is not as juicy as what Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed into law. Yet, Peter Obi has never collected one pure water from Anambra State government as a former governor. No pension for him. And he didn't try to generate pension for former governors. He could have, if he had been the kind of governor that Bello El-Rufai preferred, that presided over Lagos, Peter Obi would have created pension law for governors that would take care of their comfortable retirement from government house after only 8 years. Whereas civil servants that served for 35 years, they can't even, their pension can't be able to do anything for them. And it was Lagos State that laid the foundation for the outrageous pension packages for governors you are seeing all over the country, which most Nigerians are complaining about. Most Nigerians condemn the kind of luxurious pension package that governors across the country enjoy. Who started it? Who was the first to activate it? It was Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But is that what this country needs? A politician that takes care of himself far more better than taking care of the people. Look at Peter Obi. He wasn't thinking about himself, so he didn't think it was necessary to create a pension law to have a life of luxury. He was the most prudent governor ever in Nigeria. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of World Trade Organization, wrote in her book that Sovereign Wealth Fund, Peter Obi was among the governors who were insisting that there is a need to save money. Most of the other governors opposed it, including the opposition, the other opposition parties led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the time. They encouraged the dissent of the governors at that time to insist that there was no need, that the rain no need to save for the rainy days, that the rain has already drenched them right now, that they should bring out all the money to share. But today we know that all the countries in the world, from United Arab Emirates to Norway, all the countries in the world that had sovereign wealth fund had a buffer against volatilities in world economy. Peter Obi was among those who put their foot down that it should be done. But others didn't want it. Okonjo-Iweala wrote it in her book. And Peter Obi did not only practicalize it, he showed how it could be done, because Peter Obi was saving money constantly for his state. So he is a prudent manager of resources. But according to Bello El-Rufai, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is better than him, because Bola Ahmed Tinubu could borrow more money on behalf of Lagos State. He could be able to have the juiciest pension law for former governors and what have you. And of course, we all know that Peter Obi is squeaky clean. EFCC has never investigated him. Code of conduct have never investigated Peter Obi. But Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who have passed through investigation by EFCC, Code of Conduct, as late as even 2018, when there was a petition written against Bola Ahmed Tinubu in respect of Alpha Beta. He is better than Peter Obi. He is preferred by Bello El-Rufai because he had been investigated. But Peter Obi, who ran a transparent administration and nothing to hold against him, is the person that Bello El-Rufai said is not as good as Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It tells you a lot about the mindset of those who are beneficiaries of the system in Nigeria. They don't want the system to work. They prefer a man that said that power is not served a la carte. You have to grab it, you have to snatch it, you have to run with it. But the man who said, look, power is for those who have the capacity, the competency, and the transparency that is needed to move this country from consumption to production. Now, Tinubu has grabbed it, he has snatched it, he has run with it. What is the situation of the country? What is the naira to the dollar today? What is the price of a bag of rice under Bola Ahmed Tinubu compared to 2015? Or even, let us come closer, compared to 2023 January, before Bola Ahmed Tinubu contested the election. Why is everywhere that Bola Ahmed Tinubu goes now, they tell him that they are hungry, even in Lagos State? And talking about Lagos State, how is it that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who built Lagos, was rejected by Lagosians in that election? Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.